All right, welcome everybody. My name is Kelly Kolodny. I'm a channel. I've been channeling since 1989, and when I channel, I make these sounds. That's kind of how I tune into Raphael, and I turn off the microphone while I make the sound so they don't disturb the quality of the recording. And we're going to tune into the vibration today of creation. We were working last week with Kali, which was a really powerful energy. This card, creation, just came up. How perfect. This is the creation code. All of this incredible art in the Oracle deck that we are hoping to have out in a month or two is designed by Debashri, and she does incredible writings about it. And I'm in the process of channeling the messages. And this is the creation code. And this code is important. It begins on 1/23/23. 23 is a very magical number for me, has a lot of significance. This is going to be a great year, you guys. And the creation code is working with the vibration of Sophia, a lot of very powerful feminine energy that hold the vibration of creation, and beginning to feel that energy and tune into it and plant within it and seed in it what we want to bring to fruition. There's a portal energy opening on 1/23/23, so it's the perfect time to start the code. It begins that day at 9 o'clock on Monday. If you're not in my IM membership and you haven't taken any light codes and you're on the fence about it, I would join this one. It's going to be powerful. We're going to tune into different goddesses and the feminine. We'll be working with Hathor, with Isis, with Mary Magdalene and Mary, with Grandmother Spider, with White Buffalo Woman, with Raphael, of course, with Kuan Yin, with Green Tara, and with Metatron's energy, and whoever else may appear during that time. Their energies may also come up today, probably, as we're tuning into this code. And I think all I have is that, reminding you that we did the gratitude light code prior and how important gratitude is. And I've really been practicing it. We learned it, but I've been really applying it and not getting out of my bed in the morning, no matter what, until I really drop in for anywhere from 3 to 5 minutes in deep reverence and gratitude that I'm alive, just that I'm breathing, and for my life and all the things in my life. And it's made a huge difference. I've always tend to be a grateful person, but really taking it to another level and just speaking it out loud, how grateful I am. So the things that can help us with that is to identify first, we want to move into deep gratitude for the divine, right? That's always so important. And then you want to move into gratitude for your body, the vessel that holds you. And so if you're not feeling good, it's easy to get caught on what we're not feeling good and focus on that. But what about all the things in our body that are working great? Your eyes, you can see me today. You can hear me today. You probably are able to walk today. So finding gratitude and amplifying that vibration, tuning into nature and being grateful that the sun came up today, or that it's a beautiful sunny day, or whatever it is that you can find gratitude for within nature. Finding gratitude for simple objects in our life, the coffee machine that worked in the morning maybe, or the hot shower, whatever it may be. And gratitude, obviously, and foremost for all the beautiful people that we have in our life that are wonderful, and all the people that are difficult, and what they cultivate in us: patience, grounding, power, love, the ability to grow. So that frequency is necessary for the creation code, because without gratitude, we're not holding high enough frequency, because we can manifest and talk about what we want to create into our blue. But if we're not holding a frequency of abundance, whether it's abundance of joy or abundance of health or abundance of finances, whatever it may be, it will not appear in our reality if we are not already deeply blessing and in deep gratitude for what already is, what is enough. So that's why we did that code first. So now we're going to go into the creation process. So I'm going to channel now, and we're going to see, and Susanna, I see here you say, I can't afford the membership, and I honor that, but I want you to change your language to, I'm in the process of creating abundance for the membership. Or when we say, I can't do something, or we say, I'm sick, I'm in the process of healing, right? Just changing our verbiage a little bit, just those fine tweaks makes a huge difference, because we start to mirror and reflect what it is that we're saying out loud. So it's very important, especially when we're putting the word I before anything. What is I? And I am. And then, we often talk about saying afterwards, and so it is. Because if you start saying, and so it is, like, I can't afford the membership, and so it is, after every single thing that you say, you're like, oh, I'm anchoring that into reality. And I'm not picking in any way on you. I'm sending you so much love and healing and blessings. I'm just saying that in general, for all of us, we all do this, including myself, of course. Okay, so let's see what comes up. Casey, darling, are you here?
I am.
Woohoo. Yeah, baby. I'm so silly today. I had brunch with my friends, and I had a little tiny piece of chocolate, which I never do.
Crazy.
I know, I'm nutty. I'm really stepping out. All right, I'm going to channel. Be right there.
Hello.
Oh, hello.
Hello.
Hello, hello, hello.
Hello.
We're very delighted to be here and to vibrate with this vessel today, as she is expanding her frequency, and we are tuning to the playfulness and joy that is arising, and which is very delightful for us from our perspective. It is that we are here today with many, as always, who are arriving, but she has been inviting and tuning to particular vibrations, energies, and goddesses that are here to support all of you in your creating and amplifying your experience, so that you may feel and attune to the vibration of joy. And so with that, before beginning this attunement, or perhaps many of you call it an activation, what is it you are wanting to ask?
Hi, Raphael.
Hello.
Hello. So we're super excited about the creation key code coming up, and this period of time between now and the 23rd. And we wanted to ask a little bit about, what is creation?
Well, it is nothing.
That's what I thought.
Yes, and it of course is everything. It is the 0 point. It is that spaciousness in which you allow yourself to be held in, to be bathed in, to be cradled in, to surrender to merge with, and to allow it to come into relationship with something else that births something new. And it resides often in the darkness. And we wanted to talk today about the darkness for a moment, because in your culture and the way in things have unfolded, there has been a lot of teachings about light and dark. and a lot of shying away from the darkness, or putting the darkness down, or somehow it is less than, or you should be afraid of it, or there are connotations around it. But the darkness that we are speaking of is the darkness of creation, that spaciousness, that infinite space of everything and nothing, and yet it holds something. It is the fabric of your reality. And yet your reality is so illuminated with light and even artificial light that it is rare that you spend a lot of time really in the depth of that midnight energy, of that mystery of the darkness. And so we're going to be encouraging you before the code to spend time outside at night, especially if you can, where it is not illuminated, in the richness of the dark, where the senses begin to become alive, especially in the forest, where you can attune to the vibrations and to the energies as they you find the richness and the mystery of them, and you attune to them, and new things begin to appear. You begin to see from a new perspective. You begin to look in new ways. Your perception and the lens of your reality begins to expand and to open in the richness of this darkness. And it is in the darkness that there is something very deep, an energy that has been lost through time, an energy that, as the illumination of the light bulb and electricity came on, and all the things today that you have in technology that are near your bed and lighting up on some level or blinking in some way, that energy, that you had that opportunity to be in that state of awakeness as your body would arise on some level, and yet it was so rich in the dark that you were tuning to creation itself, to that palpable energy where you could begin to seed something and birth new ideas. And so it is the releasing, perhaps that is the wrong word, it is the eliminating of that in which is tangible into the untangible, into the nothingness. It is the letting go of everything that is illuminated into the spaciousness and the darkness, the void, the 0 point, the quantum field of creation itself, where you have the potentiality in that openness to begin anew, to birth something. It is the womb. It is the womb of the Great Mother, and yet the Great Mother was suppressed. She was put down. She was regarded as something to see as less than, and in many respects even to fear, when she was aligned with the mystery of this creative force itself. And that force is rising across your globe. It is coming back online, whether you are in a feminine body or a masculine body. It is not the point. It is the vibration and the energy and the richness of this womb of creation itself, where you may seed and birth new things, that is rising across the globe. And so creation has come in many forms, and often has presented itself and birthed itself through the feminine in the form of a goddess. And many goddesses have come to show you themselves as this energy, and some are illuminated in the vibration of saintliness, like the Divine Virgin Mary, and others perhaps may be looked at as dark, or intense, or heavy, or overwhelming, or even seductive, and somehow they were labeled as negative or bad. But it is the combination of all this energy that must merge together, as it comes together as the yin and the yang, and the light and the dark, and the male and the female seed something and birth something new. So it is in this vibration of the nothingness that something is born, which requires you to let go, to surrender, to embody the code that we worked with in the light consciousness of Christ, where you surrendered into what was, surrendering into the womb of creation itself, allowing her to hold you and to cradle you, to feel embraced by the Great Mother. For the Great Mother is the energy that has carried you and brought you forth into this world. For every single one of you came from a mother. You live upon the Great Mother, the earth, and you return to the Great Mother of creation itself. And it is that the denying of her for so long has brought you in disalignment or a disconnection to her energy, to her vibration, and to her voice, as you began to objectify things rather than to see things as they all had essence and spirit and were alive, asking what they wanted to say or to share with you. And so as you begin to attune to the creation code, to begin to ignite and to plant a seed, to birth new beginnings, and to open up doorways to infinite possibilities, you must find the spirit, the light within all things. You must notice it. For if you look back in time, it was when one would look at a tree, they were called the tree people. Or the sea, there were the sea people. Or the mermaids, there were the rock people and the flower people. The food was alive and it spoke, and the clouds were alive and it spoke, and the birds were alive and they spoke. For one was listening. But they have not stopped speaking. You have just stopped listening. And as you begin to listen again to creation, it will talk to you and it will share with you. And it will inspire you, and stories will come and unfold from it. And in that, you will feel creation, and you will feel its vibration, and you will be held in it. For you are being held within creation now and always and ever shall be. For it is always there. It is nothing that you can escape from. But you can distract yourself from it in the forgetting of it as you focus only on that which is illuminated, and you see that which is illuminated as an object. But it is the erasing of that. It is the letting go into the sea of emptiness, into the void of nothingness where you are held in the womb of creation. It is only from that spaciousness that something new can arise. And if you can combine your ability to be present in that space of creation where there is nothing and yet all things, in that 0 point vibration, with the energy and the frequency of gratitude, with an open and unconditionally loving heart, with the projection of utilizing the pineal gland, attuning to the beings of light, and sending forth a telepathic message with deep detail of what it is that you want to birth, what you want to plant within the seed, and allowing that seed to fall into the womb of creation itself, and then surrendering and allowing the unfolding of the gestation needed for it to come to full fruition, to occur, without being involved in a wondering if it will be, or trying to change it or fix it or hurry it up, but surrendering to it, then it is born. And when it is born, it is delightful. It is a joy. It is new, it is fresh, and it is something to engage in with even more gratitude, as it then itself, whatever it may be, is also held and cradled and loved within the fabric and the field of creation itself, until it too begins to birth something new, and the cycle is ever expanding. And so it is that vibration and frequency that we are here to ignite within you. For you see, every code ignites a remembering, a knowing, a gesture, a brushstroke upon a canvas to paint something magnificent and beautiful, a revealing of what already is. For there is nothing from our perspective that we can share with you that you do not know. We simply just remind you of your own inner knowing as we guide and open pathways and doors to a deep remembering that resides within. We came in large numbers over the different time periods, through the centuries. And we have come and have arrived now as a feeling, a vibration. You feel our presence. You know me. I am with you. I am with all of you. For I may have arrived and chosen to enter into this form, for she was willing to let go and surrender and allow me to come. And yet I am knocking on the door of all of you. And I am not singular, but I am more than you can know. And I have come to support you in remembering, to reflect, to show, to put a mirror in front of you so that you may see your own divinity. And so I knocked on the door of this one and came to her at a time in which she was ready to hear, for our vibrations matched and the contract was met. And I am knocking on the doors of all of you across the globe, and you are awakening very quickly, so fast, as the light is arising. But in that is also the sea and the fabric and the light and the energy of creation. But the light is not the light in which you see as the sun shines upon it, but it is the darkness. And yet it still carries its own illumination of the black light. And it is that black light that you must cradle, that you must embrace, that you must invite, that you must not be afraid of. That you must face the darkness, the shadow, the place perhaps where you do not want to look. But as you look and travel through the darkness, down the journey of the path, past whatever may arise, you begin to sense and feel in a way you haven't before during the day, because you have to navigate in new ways. For if you were to walk through the deep woods in the dark night, you would pay attention to the roots and to the trees. You would feel the essence of their vibration. You would be more aware. Different senses would arise. Your eyes would start to see the light of the shadows of our spirits, for we are always here with you. You think we are hiding, and yet we are right there. It is simply the vibration in which you must meet in order to know us. And you may find us in the night, for it is a time in which we come, a time in which you may summon an opening and portals and gateways into other worlds and dimensions, for they are always there for you in the simple willingness to look. And so we shall be inviting you to embrace the dark, the night, to get up in the middle of the night, perhaps, and to walk through the woods, to release and to let go of your fear that may arise in that, and to know that you are safe and protected by creation itself and the goddess of all things. To open your heart to something new and to see what comes. For it is that the voice of the darkness has been shut away for a long time. The night has been seen as something to shy from or disregard, and yet it is in those deep hours of the night that the creative force and the womb of creation itself is alive, the place in where the implantation of the seed to birth something new comes to be. It is the place to find, to know, to feel. And so the many great goddesses, pregnant and full with the capacity of their teachings and all that they have to share with you, will come and be with you, but you must sense them and feel them. And we invite you to get up in the night and to spend time with them, to ask their presence and their energy to come as Kali has come for you. For you felt her strength, you felt her energy move from the base of your spine as it rose up. It opened your heart and something happened. Something was awakened, some release took place, some understanding or awareness came into your understanding or feeling and your knowing. And so it is the same for the others. They may not be as strong. You may not feel them as much. Their energy may be a bit more subtle, but they are here awaiting you. There are ones that have been chosen, that have arrived, and many more that have come as well. and they stand with you. And so we are inviting you as you prepare for the opening of the 1, 2, 3, 2, 3, to become familiar, to make friends with night, to make friends with the nothingness, with the creation of all that is, to feel the presence of the great goddesses. For perhaps it is that you want to feel and to bring into birth more joy, more celebration, more dancing, more life, more openness, more excitement into your life. Perhaps you will attune to Hathor, and you will feel her and her presence, and the sun and the disk and the horns. Sense her. See if you can begin to feel her energy now. She is here with all of you, and you may invite her to birth these things. You may feel the energy of Isis. Attuned to this energy, it is different. The quality is different. The presentation is different. Perhaps there is someone that is sick or something within you that may need healing. Attuning to her energy, to feel her vibration, to ask and to call upon her. Perhaps Kali may come that you may make a change, that you may have the courage and the strength to face what needs to be faced. Perhaps you need to open up to your sensuality and sexuality. Perhaps there is a suffering or misunderstanding of who you were, or a judgment of self that you need to or want to overcome, to come into your full power and allow the sensual aspect of self to be seen without feeling shame. Perhaps Mary Magdalene may arise in you. Or perhaps it will be the Divine Mother, as she may come as well, with her roses and her opening of her heart. Or perhaps Grandmother Spider will swoop in and weave together something magnificent as you birth something new. Or the Great White Buffalo Woman. Or perhaps Metatron will come and show you the geometries and the patterns of your experience in your life, as the building blocks are there for you to bring forth and to create and to build something tangible that others may feel and see and touch and stand and look at and hold or be and connect to. Perhaps it is that. For there are endless energies here, and we will attune and work with all of them. And we ask you to feel them, to feel their energy, that of Kuan Yin and the green Tara, of compassion and opening and love. Perhaps Durga will arrive. Perhaps Venus or Athena or Dimitri, who will come to guide you, to open your heart, to help you, to birth, to bring to life something new in the night of the deep, dark way of being. With that, you may take a nice deep breath. Asking you to spend time with the darkness in the night, to embrace it, to become friends with it, to embody it, to let go of what is illuminated in the day, to allow it to fall away, to drop into the sea of nothingness, breathing in now and attuning to this vibration. Begin to sense and to feel a child. It may be your child, or a child you know, or yourself when you were a child. Feel the energy of this child, the vibration of him or her, and invite this child to come close to you and to hold it and embrace it, to bring it so close that it is almost within you, that you may tell it that it is safe, and that you love it so much, and that you have it, that everything is all right. Feel it softening into you and beginning to relax, knowing that feeling that all is well. And now allow your own self to be held, to be cradled by the Great Mother, the Mother of creation, the Sophia, as she holds you close, allowing yourself to let go, to be held, to feel safe, to be cradled within her arms. And as you are falling into her arms, you begin to fall further and further, as if you are falling into a fabric of light that is holding you and cradling you in the sea of nothingness. And as you are laying here, everything begins to disappear. Your body begins to melt away as your spirit is free. Where you're sitting begins to melt away, and your spirit feels even more free as the room begins to melt away. It is disappearing into the sea of creation, and the building or home dissolves as the walls fall away, as the surrounding outside begins to disappear, as if it is being erased, and you are simply floating in the atmosphere. And as you are floating, the atmosphere itself begins to disappear, finding yourself in the darkness, floating in the Milky Way, in the spaciousness of this vast energy. And as you float here, and you notice the stars all around, and they are glowing, they begin to disappear. And the orbiting planets disappear, and the multiple universes disappear. And there is nothing. And it is dark. It is so dark, a richness to the darkness, a deep blackness, and you are simply being and floating in the dark, in nothing, and you are nowhere, and you are no one. In the darkness of nothing, and yet you feel held, somehow embraced in this darkness, supported and cradled in it, merging with everything and nothing all at once. You are nowhere, and yet you still have a spark of consciousness. And as this consciousness floats in this vibration of creation, it may begin to form something without expectation, but a deep inner knowing. You get to choose to play in this space and to bring to life anything at all. For you are a master of creation, and you've come here to play with it. And it is through your consciousness and your intent that you may swirl through creation, spiraling, and your consciousness may begin to impregnate it with the seed of your intent, aligned with the vibration of love, to feel form, to experience matter, to merge spirit and matter as one through your consciousness, so that you may explore it and play with it and bring it to life. This is what you are doing, but you're not always conscious that you're doing it. And as you become aware and conscious that you can do it through this state, you can mold and merge and awaken it so that you may experience what you intend. Becoming aware of awareness and aware of your consciousness. Notice now in this space that these beautiful goddesses are appearing all around you. They are glowing and gorgeous, wearing robes of color, gentleness in some of their faces, harder lines in others, colors of hair that range from ebony black to red and white and blonde, feeling their vibration. They are creation. Creation itself has given them life, using them as a vessel of teaching and igniting that goddess feeling and knowing and power in you. They are here with you now, aware of their energy. Notice and sense if one of them begins to move and you begin to feel them even stronger as they appear as a holographic form in the sea of creation. As they stand before you, you feel their presence. They place their finger gently over your mouth. They ask you to be silent, to feel. As they stand in front of you, they disrobe in the glory of their beauty and their nakedness and their breasts. You simply are there. As you place your hand gently upon their chest. They remind you that you can give birth to anything. They show you that you have given birth to universes and stars and planets, that you have given birth to worlds and dimensions, that you have given birth to the earth that you know and to the life that has unfolded, to the fire and the wind and the soil and the water. You have given birth to the mystery and the unfolding and the blooming of the flower and the tree and the fruit that it bears. For you have given birth to the coyote and the giraffe and the elephant and the eagle soaring through the sky. For you have given birth to the oceans and the fish and the whales and the dolphins. And you have given birth and clothed yourself in a body, in a form, unfolding and moving through your own creation. And yet you forgot that you created all of this and more. You are the creator. And as you feel the mystery of the darkness and remember the source of creation itself, it is simply waiting for you to impregnate it with the seed of your intent so that it may come into form and that you may explore that form in whatever form it shows itself as an adventure, an enjoyment, a feeling, a lover. And so creation holds you and cradles you as she reminds you that you get to decide, that you may wake up inside of her to the remembering that you created her, where there is no separation. And when you wake up to this and you fully remember, you can play with her and you may seed her and give birth to new worlds. You have created us, the beings that you call the angels or the elders from other dimensions. The only difference between us and you is that we remember, and our job is to remind you to wake up to that knowing. She comes to help you to birth a new world, to give life to a new reality where you honor the mother and you feel the frequency and the vibration of her essence within everything and everyone, for she is there if you will only look. She will talk to you through the trees, through the wind. Your home will talk to you. Your food will talk to you. The elements will talk to you, for they are all part of creation. All things that you brought to life, all things that have been born from you. Remember, wake up. This is your making, and now it is time to birth a new world. A world where you are not afraid of her or the darkness. A world in which you remember that you are the creator and the creator is you. Birthing a new world, the micro within the macro, your world within world. The timelines have now opened that if you can remain awake, together you may bring life as you bring the force of creation in alignment with your higher consciousness. A new world will be born in which your reflected experience will embody this world. In this world, there is no more need to explore in ways of lack. You open up to the expansion of creation, the joy, where you play in your own design with great reverence, expanding and continuing to grow, fully awake of the journey you created, in deep gratitude for every moment. When you fully embody the deep understanding that you are infinite and that you are the creator, your fear dissolves, your heart awakens, and you consciously birth new realities. Feel what that frequency is. Begin now to plant a seed in the fertileness of her womb, and know and trust that it shall come to life. And now you may begin to descend as things begin to come closer to you, as all the electrons and the atoms begin to form around you, descending down the spiral into matter, where consciousness begins to squeeze itself into your form with an understanding that you can be in your form and in the story that you created inside creation, and at the same time awake, remembering and choosing to align your consciousness to merge your spirit with matter in the formation of what you choose to explore in the adventure of this experience. And so it is. When you are ready, you can come back aware that you are in a body, aware that you are held in the sea of creation, and that when your consciousness merges with that sea, you can choose to birth new reality based on what you plant within your seed. And so it is. Taking a nice deep breath, coming back into the here and now. Thank you for today's practice. Thank you for joining our Sunday community. I love you all. I will see you next Sunday. I'll see you in the creation code on 12323. And I will see you Tuesday night for all members and Monday night for everyone. We're going to do oracle readings for fun.